Spirits review. Back on the phone because the computer was playing up. Yeah, better not do it on Saturday, otherwise it could be an interesting thing. How the hell can you do a 6 hour live when you bloody Chromebook's playing up? I'll have to split the live. That's what will probably happen. So is what it is. Nobody's come on yet, so either no one's refreshing, or they've all thought, oh, sod that, I'm not going back on. So is what it is. So this is from Robinsons Brewery, based in Stockport. This is Hopnik Citra IPA. Good evening, Shane. Welcome back, mate. So yeah, 4.7%. I've never had this one before, actually. It's been sat on the shelf for about, oh, God knows how long. I have no idea. That's why I'm getting the beer wall down, because I need to. So it's an IPA with citrus, floral, and hoppy flavours, thanks to the Citra and Centennial hops. It's bold yet refreshing, with hints of malty caramel, giving a zingy mouthfeel, light body, and a lingering bitterness. So there we go. A Hopnik. The only downer of being on the phone is the fact that I missed the blooming chat. But I'll have to keep my eye on the chat a bit more, as it is. So, yeah, we're back. 6 hour live Saturday. God knows how I'm going to do that. Let's hope my eye's all right for Saturday, because I've had a dodgy eye for the last day. And I've probably had a dodgy eye all my life, if truth's known. But, you know, these things happen. Yeah, it wasn't my fault. Good evening. So, proper traditional looking beer here. And, yeah, very much a golden looking pour. Centimetre of whitehead. Yeah, 6 hours. Fucking hell. I'll be steaming after the first hour. Yeah. That's why I'm at Alton Towers on Sunday. Yeah. Wife's driving there because such BVM, Blue Van Man. Hey, good evening, Mark, as well as Liam and Shane, obviously, and the other person in the chat who's not saying it. And for those people who join the chat, you know, talking, joining in, you know, one never needs to feel scary about joining YouTube chats with your name. You know, joining in is really good, because it as someone who suffers with anxiety, it's a great thing. So, proper traditional beer there. That's why I picked this glass, because I knew this glass would be the right glass for this beer. Good evening, Darren. So yeah, little white head. I don't know what it is with YouTube, because it shows that 2 people are watching, and then sometimes I know there's 6 people in the chat. So God knows what goes off with YouTube's. You know, there's numbers that it shows you. And sometimes I think that can be quite off-putting, because if say you're doing a live beer review and it shows that there's 1 person watching, you think to yourself, okay. And then you see 2 or 3, and then all of a sudden, like 5 different people are commenting at the same time. You're like, how can there be 5 people commenting? And near Jack Grealish. Yeah, why is he scared of it? and you know, so I don't really take much notice of what YouTube says or online. I don't know what they're playing at with that, I'm sure. But regards, you know, obviously if there was 1,000 online, it might be something different. Yeah, don't be worried. You're live. You're not on camera. So the first thing you've got to think about is, I'm not on camera. Yeah, if I say something wrong, does it really matter? No. Have I seen Scott's video on Grealish? No, I haven't. No. Has he done a new one? No, he hasn't actually. No, I haven't. I don't, just simply because of sheer amount of work we're doing recently, you know, because of the dining room floor and the issues we've had with, yeah, I need to. I mean, I could do a rant video and I would be bitterly, I could really upset people for life. And but in some ways, you know, sometimes if you're a dickhead, you need telling. Oh, is it a new one then? Is it a new video? Obviously, I know, Mark, you did one, mate, about a week or so ago. If it's more than that, apologies, because time's flying at the moment. I ain't got a clue what bloody day it is. And it's Thursday. It's just that I'm working silly hours at work and after work, and then silly hours doing bloody last week. Last week. Oh, didn't even know that. Yeah, I unsubbed as well. I got to the stage where somebody else's videos were over. You search my name and somebody else's videos came up in front of mine. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I thought, no, I'm not having that. Plus, there's things that annoy me, really annoy me, and you know, I could go on a rant, and I'm better off keeping out of it, because if I go on a rant, I'll mean every single last word, and yeah. Yeah. Oh. The sad thing is, the really sad thing is, while we're talking, you know, amongst us, is the fact that when you've got lots of subscribers, you are, to the public, one of the figureheads of the beer community, the beer review community. Breweries will look at you and think, oh, we need to get him on board, send him some freebies and all that shit. And but in the grand scheme of things, you know, money is the consideration. Luckily, I earn my money from working like a twat, and you know, I work like a twat at work. I do extra hours at work, you know, and I don't earn any money from doing, well, literally a few 20 or 30 quid a month from YouTube. Literally, yeah, if that. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it may be a little bit more. Certainly not enough to do anything, certainly not enough to pay for a week's beer. So, you know, there's a lot of investment that we're putting. But, you know, I love my little hobby. I love what I do. I love the interaction. I have a genuine love of the beer review community. You know, I've made friends for life that I would not have made. We're going out, we're going drinking with people. I've made friends with breweries. And flipping heck, you know, I've got friends and then I've learned a lot about brewing that I never thought I'd learn. So, you know, I don't see it as a monetary thing. I see it as a hobby that's turned good, and that's the way it should always be, really. But saying that, even if you do earn a lot of money, oh, it's pissing down at the dog's in. Oh, let me make sure dog's in, because if he's outside, bless him, oh leader. 1 second, apologies. Oh, bless his little cotton. Oh, fuck me, that glass. Bless his little cotton sockies. He was outside in the rain. So, back to the comments. Do apologise. Much easier on the Chromebox. I can see where we are. Oh, yeah. It's sad, really, because if you're the head of the community, I look at somebody. Let me give you an example. I look at Theme Park Worldwide. He's earning good money off YouTube. He is. He's packed up his job. He's travelling around the world. He's doing his theme parks. But I tell you now, he's still the same amazing character that he was when he first did it. His love of theme parks is amazing. His positivity is just, it just reaches into you, and it's like, whoa, that positivity is just amazing. His love for what he does is just on a level that you don't see anywhere else. So, you know, so if you're in the beer review trade community, then doing what you do, promoting really good beer, and that should be what's on your agenda, you know, in my thoughts anyway. And have I just killed the blood? Any comments? Because I can't see anything. There we go. There we go. So, very much a traditional beer from Robinsons Brewery, makers of Old Tom, and yes, good brewery in Stockport in near Manchester, or outskirts of Manchester. Oh, like I say, subtle citrus with this. Definitely a traditional beer. I am going to do something more crafty next, although not that I've got a lot of craft left on the wall, to be honest. It's looking really thin these days. I have got a lot of beers around me, a lot of empties as well, and yeah, I need to clear some empties into the bin. But yeah, the beer walls. Really looking forward to the craft beer festival. I'm hoping. Good evening, Christopher. Yeah, I'm going to drink the Bang Elephant, not the statement, but I'm going to drink the Bluebell, the Swan and Daisy, or something, Swamp and Daisy, or whatever it's called. I've got 2 cans of the Statement of Intent. One is for a special review. One is to be drank on the live, the Wraggys live on Saturday, the 6-hour live. Ooh. That as well as a Lincoln Green Brewing Company, for a reason, you know. I really need to get a Castle Rock beer, really, but sadly it's the wrong week. But there you go. Castle Rock have not brought any beers out recently, which is a shame. They've been very. I've seen this with a lot of local breweries. They aren't bottling and canning their beers like they did. Only Lenton Lane are actually keeping up with bottling and canning, because now most of the focus is back on cask and keg. Bottling and canning, it seems to be a bit of a, you know, no one's bothered so much, and I think that's actually a bad move. I think you've got to focus on both cask, keg, and the bottling and canning side of things. I think it's a lost market. Oh, I'm ready, mate, but scared stiff. Yeah. We beat Huddersfield the other week, so we know we can beat them. Trust me. But what I will say about Nottingham Forest is this team is capable. When they're on form, they beat Fulham the other week. Yes, we lost to Bournemouth. Drew with was it Hull? And obviously we beat Sheffield to go through. We can do it, but you know when you look at it, what you don't want is some bloody shit referee to spoil it at the end of the day. You know, I mean, it's gone crazy in Nottingham, crazy. the amount of people buying Forest Pale Ale is unbelievable. So you can imagine anything Nottingham Forest at the moment is selling. Merch, beer. So a local brewery to me, Navigation Brewery, are selling Forest Pale Ale. And they've got 70 orders today. That is staggering for them. And yeah, it's great from a monetary side of things, but it's balmy. Absolutely balmy. It's like all of a sudden, it's gone viral. Yeah, Mark, mate. Them guys that got us up need to stay with us. Joe Garner, you know, Spence. Brennan Johnson needs a bigger contract. There are some good players that need bigger contracts, that's for sure. And in the Premiership, maybe a couple of additions, some Premiership players who know how to play in that league. I sometimes wonder if Carvalho, who was a Forest player, £15 million Forest player from Benfica, whether in the Premiership, because there's more time on the ball, whether he would actually be more of an asset there. So, citrusy, traditional beer from Hopnik. Well, not from Hopnik, from Robinsons Brewery. Yeah, the Navigation Forest beer, mate. Yeah, it's a nice beer. You can get it, and it's called Rebel, but you didn't need to know that, did you? Yeah, it's called Rebel if you can't get it as Forest Pale Ale. As is standard with a lot of breweries, they put their names, they brew the same beer but put a different name on it. So if you look at Navigation Brewery at the moment, they've got Sink the Russian Warships or whatever it's called, and it's actually Navigation Brewery's American West Coast IPA renamed, just to give the profits to Ukraine. So you know, it's a fantastic gesture. It's an award-winning beer, but it's not a new beer that's been brewed specifically for that reason. Oh, could you imagine Cluffy getting up? Oh, it'd be Nigel Clough's Mansfield versus his ex-club Derby. That would be bloody stunning, without no shadow of a doubt. So as you can see, golden pour, citrusy, good old school, you know, beer really. Good traditional beer. I'll flip on to something more craft beer in a minute. And it's chucking it down with vein again. For me, a good 4.1 out of 5. Yeah. Love the citrusy aspect of it. Funnily enough, with the Citra, you'd expect a bit more tropical, but it didn't. It tasted more citrusy to me. Whoa, it's coming down there. Wow. We do need the rain though. You know, it is what it is. So, I've said the score. Coming back, third beer review of the night. In Forest fan since 76. Wow. Fair play, mate. Right. Time for another beer review. Whoa, proper coming down there. Back in 2 minutes. Cheers, all.